At a lively campaign event for Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, Elon Musk stepped up to the stage, delivering a clear and urgent message about the upcoming election. After a round of applause, Trump introduced Musk, praising his achievements in technology and space travel. "Come on up, Elon," Trump said, as Musk took the microphone to address the excited crowd. Musk began with a lighthearted comment, saying, "I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA," which got some laughs from the audience. But he quickly turned serious, pointing out the need for strong leadership in tough times. He asked the crowd, "Who do you want representing America?" stirring up the energy even more. He called this election the most important of our lifetime, and warned that basic rights, like free speech and the right to bear arms, were at risk. Musk specifically called out states like California, which banned voter ID, and asked, "How can we have a fair election without ID?" Musk's message was simple: register to vote, and make sure everyone else does too. Drag them to register, he urged, adding that if people didn't vote, this will be the last election. With only 48 hours left to register in key states like Georgia and Arizona, his urgency was clear. He ended his speech with a bold call to action. Be a pest. Fight, fight, fight. Vote, vote, vote. The crowd responded with loud applause, inspired by Musk's strong message about the importance of voting in this crucial election. Threats against Elon Musk. After attending Trump's campaign, Elon Musk sat down with Tucker Carlson. The conversation between Musk and Carlson took a dark and controversial turn as Musk dove deeper into the political and social dynamics surrounding Donald Trump's campaign and its potential implications. In a striking moment, Musk bluntly commented, "Nobody's even bothering to try to kill Kamala. 'Cause it's pointless." The statement, loaded with criticism, pointed to Kamala Harris being, in his view, just another figurehead. "What do you achieve? Nothing. Another puppet," he added, his words drawing a mix of shock and agreement from Carlson. Musk doubled down, suggesting that no one would target Joe Biden either because, as he put it, it'd be pointless. Carlson agreed, sharing a knowing laugh with Musk, who seemed to revel in the provocation of it all. Their conversation then shifted to another high-profile mystery: the infamous Jeffrey Epstein client list. Carlson raised the issue, pointing out the hypocrisy in the prosecution of January 6th protesters, while no one from Epstein's client list had been brought to justice. "Not one person on the F client list," Carlson noted with clear frustration, asking Musk if he believed the list would ever see the light of day. Musk's response was pointed. If Trump wins, that Epstein client list is going to become public. Musk's insinuation carried weight. He suggested that some of the wealthiest backers of Kamala Harris were supporting her out of fear, not ideology. According to Musk, these billionaires were terrified of what might happen if Trump returned to power, particularly regarding the exposure of the Epstein scandal. "Some of those billionaires behind Kamala are terrified of that outcome," Musk claimed, implying that powerful forces were working to keep this information hidden. Carlson, sensing the gravity of Musk's statement, pressed further, asking whether Trump himself might appear on that client list. Musk paused for a moment before responding, deflecting slightly, but hinting at deeper intrigue. "Those aren't doctored photos," Musk said cryptically, alluding to potential ties between Trump and Epstein, but leaving it to the audience to draw their own conclusions. The conversation then veered into speculative territory. Musk, increasingly animated, spoke about how deeply entrenched he believed political elites were in protecting each other, referencing how no high-profile figures had been prosecuted in connection with Epstein. If he weren't a billionaire, he probably would have stormed the Capitol himself, Musk joked about Trump, although the undercurrent of truth in his statement was hard to ignore. As the conversation wound down, Carlson asked Musk if he believed law enforcement was complicit in protecting the names on Epstein's client list. Musk responded with a measured tone, suggesting that it wasn't far-fetched to think that some in positions of power were working hard to keep those names under wraps. "Of course, there could be complicity," Musk said, hinting at political and law enforcement figures who might have vested interests in maintaining the status quo. The interview left little doubt that Musk, with his bold and unapologetic remarks, had become a lightning rod for controversy. His willingness to speak so openly about high-stakes political and social issues, combined with his support for Trump, was sure to send ripples across both the media landscape and political circles. Musk on Epstein and his other connections. Musk raised the issue of Epstein's initial prosecution, pointing out that despite his conviction for sex-related crimes, many influential figures continued to maintain relationships with him. The initial one was handled very softly, Musk noted, referencing how the first prosecution was overseen by a Trump appointee, highlighting the leniency Epstein received despite his connections to high-profile figures, including Bill Gates, the Clintons, and even Trump. Carlson quickly chimed in, mentioning Epstein's ties to the Virgin Islands and Stacey Plaskett, as well as the financial involvement of Bank of America. Bank of America was very complicit, Carlson said, referencing the leaked emails that revealed a warm relationship between Epstein and the bank even after his conviction. There's no plausible deniability after he's already been arrested and prosecuted for sex crimes, Musk agreed. The conversation grew more intense as they discussed the continued protection Epstein seemed to enjoy from the elite, despite his criminal record. Bill Gates, in particular, was singled out as one of the individuals who continued his relationship with Epstein after the initial conviction. Bill Gates and the Virgin Islands still tried to have a relationship with him, Musk said, visibly frustrated. Carlson nodded, acknowledging the bizarre and disturbing nature of Epstein's continued influence among the powerful. "I completely agree with you," Carlson said, praising Musk's framing of the issue. He pointed out how, even after Epstein's crimes were publicly exposed, figures like Gates and institutions like Bank of America maintained ties with him. The two then shifted the focus to the journalist who first uncovered Epstein's crimes. There was a great Southern Florida reporter who relentlessly did the work on Epstein, Musk noted, crediting the journalist for bringing Epstein's actions into the spotlight. Despite these revelations, Epstein remained protected by a racket of powerful people, Musk added, who continued to shield him from further scrutiny. "It's a protection racket," Carlson echoed, hinting at the potential for blackmail and coercion at play. The conversation inevitably turned to Epstein's infamous island in the Caribbean and his other properties, like his sprawling estate in New Mexico. Musk and Carlson speculated on the activities that took place in these secluded locations, with Musk hinting that Epstein might have used them to gather compromising information on his high-profile guests. Whether it was his island in the Caribbean or his home in New Mexico or on the Leda Express, Musk said, referring to Epstein's private jet, he would travel across the world, with people like Donald Trump and Bill Clinton. Carlson, clearly intrigued, pushed further. "Do you think they were holding information on these people?" he asked. Musk didn't answer directly, but suggested that the evidence was damning enough. "They were warming up to the rich and powerful, potentially holding information on them," Musk said, leaving the audience to ponder the extent of Epstein's influence over some of the world's most powerful figures. As the discussion continued, it became clear that Musk and Carlson believed Epstein's network was far more complex and insidious than many had realized. They speculated on the role of Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime associate, who had also been convicted of sex trafficking. Musk referenced the mysterious death of Maxwell's father, Robert Maxwell, who had died under suspicious circumstances on a yacht named after her. "It's questionable," Musk said, alluding to the murky and interconnected world that Epstein and Maxwell operated within. The deeper Musk and Carlson went into the conversation, the clearer it became that they believed Epstein's influence stretched far beyond what was publicly known. "It's not just about his wealth or his properties," Musk concluded. "It's about how deeply entrenched he was in the lives of these powerful people. Election security and integrity." The discussion heated up as Carlson and Musk continued to dissect the implications of current security measures for Trump, emphasizing the evolving landscape of political violence in America. Musk leaned back, his tone more serious. "We're living in a time where the very idea of political violence has become a part of the conversation. It's troubling. We've seen how serious these threats are, especially against Trump," he stated. Carlson nodded, reflecting on how the rhetoric around political figures has shifted dramatically. "You're right. It's like the focus has turned into a blame game instead of addressing the real issue, the safety of those in public office, regardless of their party affiliation." As they moved on to discuss the culture surrounding political figures and their vulnerabilities, Musk drew a parallel to the entertainment industry, mentioning figures like Puff Daddy. "Look at people like Puff Daddy," Musk said, "a legitimate producer with legitimate relationships in the music industry. He had his normal business operations, and then there were those after-hours operations." The implication was clear. Just as the music industry has its secrets, so too did the world of politics, and the lines often blurred. Carlson jumped in, questioning the motivations of high-profile individuals who associated with Epstein. Was Gates just going to conferences that Epstein set up, or was he more involved? "That's the real question," he probed. "I think it's fascinating to imagine what might break open if the truth came out." Musk appeared skeptical. "Sure, but let's not get carried away. People want to point fingers without real evidence. Musk's conspiracy theories can sometimes make things murky." The conversation shifted back to the current political climate. Carlson remarked on the disparity in the reactions to political violence, highlighting that while Trump faced serious threats, the mainstream media focused more on the rhetoric from the right. "It's interesting," he said, "that the ones claiming to be victims of violence are often the ones with significant security details. Kamala Harris, Biden, they're not on the front lines like Trump. They don't get the same threats." Musk nodded in agreement. "Thank God they have security. Everyone in that position needs it. But maybe it's time we reconsider how we handle security for all candidates, especially when someone like Trump is back on the campaign trail." Carlson pointed out that Trump's security has been upped since the attempts on his life, but it raised questions about the Secret Service's reliance on local law enforcement, which can vary widely in capability and resources. "This isn't just a Trump issue," Carlson emphasized. "It's about the security of our democracy. How do we expect our leaders to function if their safety isn't guaranteed? We have to demand better from our security services, especially in unprecedented situations like this." Musk leaned in, his expression thoughtful. "It's a reflection of broader issues we face as a society. When political violence is normalized, everyone suffers. We need to start talking about these problems more openly, less about who's to blame and more about how to fix it." The conversation concluded with both men acknowledging the complexity of the issues at hand. They understood that the questions surrounding Epstein, political violence, and security were deeply interconnected and reflected a larger narrative about power, influence, and the fragility of public trust in leadership. Elon Musk on being canceled. Carlson shifted in his seat, taking a moment to gather his thoughts. "You bring up a good point about Elon and the dynamics of his commentary. He's certainly not shy about voicing his opinions, but that can backfire. When you're at the level of influence he has, it's crucial to choose your words carefully. If he's seen as undermining public figures like Kamala Harris or Biden, it could not only alienate potential supporters but also spark outrage." Musk nodded, his fingers steepled in thought. "Exactly. The stakes are incredibly high. And let's be clear, we're not just talking about political fallout. There's a broader social responsibility that comes with having a platform. People in power, whether they're politicians or tech moguls, need to recognize the weight of their words." Carlson leaned forward, excited to delve deeper. But the challenge remains. How do we hold politicians accountable for their actions while also ensuring the safety and dignity of those in public office? AOC, as you mentioned, made some solid points about the Secret Service's failures. This isn't just about Trump. It's about the integrity of our political system. If we can't protect our leaders, how can we expect them to lead effectively? The conversation naturally flowed to the idea of political identity. "Take Harris, for instance," Musk said, continuing to elaborate on his earlier point. "She's become a blank canvas. The way she operates, it seems like she's more concerned about maintaining a seat at the table than actually pushing any progressive agenda. And that could be why there's such a disconnect between her and the more passionate elements of the Democratic base." Carlson interjected, "And isn't that the crux of the issue? When you have politicians who blend into the establishment and avoid taking a definitive stand, it creates a void. People start looking for alternatives. And that's when you get figures like Trump who can galvanize support through a clear and distinct message. They see him as a fighter against the status quo." Musk contemplated that for a moment. True. Trump embodies a unique political persona, one that both terrifies and excites people. There's an unpredictability to him that resonates with those who feel disenfranchised. If he were to be removed from the picture, it's not just about continuity of policies. It's about the vacuum left behind in that passionate, fervent energy. That's what supporters are afraid of losing. And here we are, Carlson added. In a time when the stakes have never felt higher, the conversation around security, rhetoric, and political identity isn't just theoretical. It's playing out in real time, impacting lives and shaping the future of our democracy. As we continue to debate these issues, we have to remember that words matter. It's a fine line between free speech and incitement, and navigating that line is becoming increasingly complicated. Musk sighed, glancing at the clock. It's a tightrope act. But what I find most troubling is the echo chamber we're all trapped in. Instead of healthy discourse, we're surrounded by noise. Everyone's afraid to say anything that might rock the boat, and that's not how progress is made. Carlson leaned back in his chair, a contemplative look crossing his face. Perhaps that's where the role of media comes in. We have a responsibility to foster discussions that cut through the chaos. It's about encouraging honesty and holding people accountable, especially those in positions of power. If we want to see real change, it starts with meaningful dialogue. As the segment wrapped up, they agreed on the necessity of a renewed focus on accountability, empathy, and responsibility in public discourse. The world outside was rife with complexities, but through their exchange, a glimmer of hope shone, a possibility that perhaps understanding and constructive conversation could still thrive amidst the turmoil. Their discussion may have been just a moment in time, but it underscored the critical importance of addressing the roots of political strife and the power dynamics at play. The audience was left pondering not just the current state of affairs, but the potential paths forward in an increasingly polarized world.
And there's a great moment here when it looks like even Oprah is having a WTF moment.
One of the greatest expressions for the love of our country, one of the greatest expressions of patriotism.
Elon Musk has once again stirred the pot with a jaw-dropping announcement about Vice President Kamala Harris. Musk's remarks were not just idle chatter. They echoed through the political landscape, drawing attention from powerful figures, including Oprah Winfrey. As the tension builds, reactions are pouring in from every corner, and the stakes are high. What does this mean for Harris? How will Oprah respond to Musk's challenge? Stay tuned as we dive deeper into this explosive story, exploring the implications of Musk's words and the chaos that follows. You won't want to miss what happens next. Elon Musk's controversial comments on Kamala Harris. Elon Musk, the man who seems to thrive in the spotlight, recently found himself at the center of yet another media frenzy. In a web video interview with former Fox News host Tucker Carlson, Musk made some eyebrow-raising comments that quickly became the talk of the town. You see, during their chat, Musk casually referenced a joke he had posted on X, formerly Twitter, that raised more than a few eyebrows. He mused about how pointless it would be for anyone to attempt to assassinate Kamala Harris or even President Joe Biden. Now, before you gasp in disbelief, let's take a moment to unpack this. Musk's original comment was intended to be humorous. Something along the lines of, "Nobody's even bothering to try to kill Kamala because it's pointless." What do you achieve? Picture this. Two men sharing a laugh, perhaps a little too comfortably, with Musk tossing out quips like a stand-up comedian. Carlson chimed in, saying, "It's deep and true, though." I mean, who doesn't love a little dark humor, right? But here's where things get sticky. While Musk clearly intended this as a lighthearted observation, it didn't land quite as he hoped. The internet, as we know, has a knack for taking things out of context faster than you can say tweet. Musk later clarified that some people misinterpreted his words, thinking he was advocating violence. Far from it. He explained, "Does it seem strange that no one's even bothered? Nobody tries to assassinate a puppet. She's safe. I mean, can you blame the guy for trying to lighten the mood in today's heavy political climate?" Now let's be honest here. Musk has a reputation for pushing boundaries with his comments, and this one was no different. Sure, his choice of words might have been a little reckless, but isn't that part of his charm? He's the guy who sends rockets into space and has a car that can drive itself. He's a visionary, not a political analyst. So, as you can imagine, the reactions weren't long in coming. With such a high-profile figure like Musk making waves, you could practically hear the collective gasp from the political and celebrity world. And speaking of celebrities, guess who jumped into the fray? None other than Oprah Winfrey, who had some thoughts of her own about Musk's remarks. But we'll dive into that juicy drama in just a moment. But first, let's explore the aftermath of Musk's comments and the backlash that followed. Reactions and backlash. As you'd expect, Elon Musk's comments on Kamala Harris and Joe Biden sent shockwaves through social media and news outlets. The moment his words hit the public sphere, they exploded like a wildfire. The media went into overdrive, dissecting every word and tone of Musk's comments as if they were decoding a top-secret message. The public wasn't shy about sharing their opinions either. Some loyal Musk supporters saw it for what it was, an off-the-cuff joke meant to highlight the futility of political violence against puppet figures. Others, however, weren't laughing. Critics labeled his remarks as irresponsible and dangerous, suggesting that even joking about such topics was reckless, especially in today's volatile political climate. But despite all the backlash, there was one reaction that truly stood out: Oprah Winfrey. But we'll get to that in a moment. Now, as the storm of criticism grew louder, Musk knew he had to do something. The jokes may have landed poorly, but his next move was clear. He needed to explain himself and set the record straight before the situation spiraled further out of control. That's when Musk took to his platform once again, this time not to crack jokes, but to clarify his intent. What he says next might just surprise you. Musk's retraction and explanation. After the intense media storm and backlash, Elon Musk did what any savvy public figure might do. He decided to take a step back, reassess, and explain himself. Musk isn't one to shy away from controversy, but even he realized that his joke about Kamala Harris and Joe Biden might have crossed a line, especially in today's hypersensitive political climate. So, what did he do? In true Musk fashion, he took down the post and returned to the platform, this time to clarify what he really meant. In his follow-up, Musk admitted that his joke didn't land the way he intended. He explained that humor, especially the kind he was attempting, doesn't always translate well in the digital world, particularly when it's reduced to plain text on a screen. Turns out that jokes are way less funny if people don't know the context and the delivery is plain text, Musk wrote. And honestly, he's got a point. It's easy to forget that without the right timing, tone, or delivery, even the most well-meaning jokes can fall flat or, worse, be completely misinterpreted. Musk made it clear that he wasn't calling for any harm to befall Harris or Biden. Quite the opposite. He was poking fun at the notion of political assassinations being pointless, because in his view, certain politicians are just figureheads, or puppets, as he put it. He emphasized that he was highlighting the futility of such violence, not endorsing it. And let's be real, Musk has always had a way of challenging the status quo with his comments. He's never been afraid to push boundaries, but this time, he realized the need to clarify that he wasn't advocating for anything sinister. The incident underscored a larger issue about social media. It's easy for humor to get lost in translation. A quip that might get a few chuckles in a casual conversation can come across very differently when it's read, without the benefit of facial expressions, tone, or context. Musk, who often uses his platform to share everything from business updates to memes, found himself caught in this trap. It's one of the pitfalls of being a digital age icon, with millions hanging on your every word. However, this wasn't the first time Musk had to explain himself after a post went sideways, and knowing him, it likely won't be the last. But in this instance, his clarification helped calm some of the backlash, though not entirely. Not everyone was willing to accept his explanation, and as the dust began to settle, another high-profile figure was gearing up to make her voice heard: Oprah Winfrey. While Musk was busy putting out the fire over his Harris comments, Oprah took issue with something entirely different: his bold criticism of her and other celebrities. It seems the two were on a collision course, and this was just the beginning of a much bigger showdown. Now, let's explore how Musk, never one to shy away from controversy, took on Oprah Winfrey herself, and why their clash is making headlines. Elon Musk versus Oprah Winfrey. As if Elon Musk's comments on Kamala Harris weren't enough to stir up controversy, he turned his attention toward another powerful figure in the media landscape: Oprah Winfrey. This time, the conflict wasn't just about a joke gone wrong, but about a deeper ideological clash between two influential titans with very different views on the future of America and political leadership. Musk has never been shy about sharing his political views, especially when it comes to supporting former President Donald Trump. But his criticism of Oprah goes beyond politics. It's personal. Following her recent interview with Kamala Harris, which many felt was more of an advertorial for the vice president's potential 2024 campaign than an actual interview, Musk didn't hold back. He criticized Oprah for what he saw as pandering, calling out the interview for being heavily scripted and lacking any real substance. Musk's stance? That Oprah, like many other celebrities, doesn't truly understand the problems facing America today. Let's rewind a bit. Oprah Winfrey, a media mogul with a long history of political activism, has often been vocal about her concerns over Donald Trump's leadership and the potential threat she believes he poses to democracy. In her recent interview with Kamala Harris, Oprah expressed these views once again, painting a bleak picture of a future where Trump regains the White House. Oprah's polished comments, which were filled with warnings about the dangers of Trump's presidency, caught Musk's attention. To him, the interview felt staged, as though Oprah was merely reciting a carefully crafted narrative without digging into the real issues. Musk, being the disruptor he is, wasn't afraid to call out what he saw as hypocrisy. In a series of posts on X, he openly questioned Oprah's credibility, saying that she and other celebrities were out of touch with the realities facing ordinary Americans. He accused Oprah of promoting a mind virus, a set of ideologies that he believes are wreaking havoc on cities like San Francisco, where he's seen firsthand the devastating impact of certain political philosophies. In Musk's eyes, Oprah represents a media class that's more concerned with image and influence than with actually solving the problems they claim to care about. This clash between Musk and Oprah goes beyond a disagreement over Kamala Harris's campaign. It's a reflection of their broader ideological differences. On one hand, you have Oprah, a longtime advocate for social justice, who believes in using her platform to push for progressive change. On the other hand, there's Musk, who has openly embraced a more libertarian approach, challenging the very systems and institutions that Oprah champions. Musk sees figures like Oprah as part of the establishment, an elite group that speaks about change but, in his view, only perpetuates the problems they claim to solve. The tension escalated further when Musk questioned Oprah's influence in politics, suggesting that celebrities like her wield too much power over public opinion without offering real solutions. He's not shy about pointing out what he considers the flaws in their philosophy, saying, "If you've walked around downtown San Francisco, right near the X headquarters, it's a zombie apocalypse." To Musk, the policies supported by people like Oprah have led to the downfall of American cities, turning them into dystopian nightmares. It's a sharp critique, and one that cuts deep, especially since Oprah is viewed by many as a symbol of hope and progress. Musk's critique of Oprah didn't stop at just politics. He even went so far as to call out her recent remarks about Trump, arguing that her fears of his return to power are overblown. According to Musk, Oprah's portrayal of Trump as a dangerous figure is part of a larger narrative designed to manipulate the public. To Musk, Trump represents disruption and change, something he believes America needs, while Oprah stands for maintaining the status quo, which, in his mind, is destroying the country. Their ideological clash has now become one of the most talked about feuds in recent memory. Musk sees himself as the visionary who can solve problems like climate change and the future of technology, while Oprah, in his view, is more concerned with maintaining her celebrity status and influence. But how does Oprah feel about all this? You won't believe her response. Oprah Winfrey's response. In response to Elon Musk's pointed criticism, Oprah Winfrey remained steadfast in her stance, doubling down on her concerns about Donald Trump and the future of American democracy. In a recent interview, she reiterated her belief that Trump poses a significant threat to the democratic values the country was built upon. Oprah expressed deep concern over the possibility of Trump's return to power, stating that his presidency could unravel years of progress and create lasting damage to the nation's institutions. Oprah's focus has always been on preserving democracy, and she emphasized that the upcoming elections are crucial. She warned that a second Trump presidency would be disastrous, describing it as a scenario that could weaken the integrity of democratic processes. According to Oprah, the stakes have never been higher, and she urged Americans to act responsibly to protect their future. Her concerns reflect a broader anxiety within certain circles about the long-term effects of Trump's leadership. To Oprah, it's not just about one election. It's about safeguarding the core principles of the nation itself. But the question remains, will her words resonate, or will Musk's counter-arguments sway the tide? A brewing firestorm. The clash between Elon Musk, Kamala Harris, and Oprah Winfrey has ignited a firestorm of public debate, highlighting how powerful figures in politics and media can shape narratives, and sometimes create explosive controversy. But at the heart of all this lies a much deeper question. Is Elon Musk truly the visionary who can disrupt the status quo, or is Oprah and Kamala's cautionary voice what the nation needs to hear? The debate is far from over, and with tensions running high, we can only wonder what's next in this escalating saga. As these larger-than-life personalities continue to dominate headlines, one thing's for sure. The battle lines have been drawn, and the next chapter promises to be even more gripping. Till next time.
America is the home of the brave. And there's no truer test than courage under fire.
On October 5th, 2024, former President Donald Trump returned to Butler, Pennsylvania for a rally that made headlines across the nation. But this was not just any rally. It featured an unexpected guest who has taken the conservative movement by storm. Elon Musk, the billionaire founder of Tesla and SpaceX, and now the owner of X, formerly Twitter. Musk's presence at the rally signaled a bold new chapter for the MAGA movement. His appearance wasn't just a cameo, it was a statement. Musk, who's often been seen as an icon of technological progress, is now fully embracing the conservative values of the MAGA movement. This event was more than a political rally. It was a convergence of technological innovation, American patriotism, and a shared vision for the future, leaving conservatives across the nation energized and inspired. As Elon Musk stepped onto the stage, the crowd's excitement was palpable. Thousands of supporters waved American flags and chanted in support, embracing Musk as one of their own. For many, seeing Musk beside Trump was a moment they had hoped for, a blending of visionary leadership with political might. Musk's reputation as a pioneer who has broken barriers in electric vehicles, space exploration, and renewable energy has made him an icon of American innovation. His support for Trump is seen as an endorsement of the MAGA movement's ideals, especially its emphasis on reclaiming American greatness. Musk took the opportunity to address the crowd, underscoring the significance of the upcoming election. If they don't, this will be the last election, he warned, drawing applause from a crowd that shares his sense of urgency. Musk's words resonated deeply with those in attendance, many of whom believe that America is at a crucial juncture. His presence added a sense of gravity to the event, reminding everyone that this election isn't just about policies, but about the very future of the country. Surrounding the rally, billboards featuring Musk's face and slogans like "In Musk We Trust" showcased his growing influence. Attendees lined up to purchase MAGA merchandise that also bore Musk's image, blending the familiar symbols of Trump's campaign with Musk's branding. This blending of identities speaks to the unique position Musk holds as both a tech mogul and a political influencer, appealing to a diverse cross-section of Americans who believe in both innovation and tradition. A new hero for the MAGA movement. For many Trump supporters, Elon Musk represents the embodiment of the American dream. He's an immigrant who came to the United States with big ideas and an even bigger drive to succeed. Now, as the wealthiest man in the world, he's not only a successful businessman, but also a cultural icon. Musk's journey from immigrant to billionaire resonates with the MAGA base, which values self-reliance, hard work, and the courage to challenge the status quo. Supporters like Sherry O'Donnell saw Musk's presence as a sign of hope. "It just felt right, seeing someone like Elon Musk standing beside Trump," she said, expressing a sentiment shared by many in the crowd. For Brian Yanunoviak, a rally attendee who had driven hours to see Musk, this event was a powerful affirmation of Musk's commitment to the country's future. "He understands what America needs to thrive again," Yanunoviak said. "He's not just a businessman. He's a patriot who's willing to put his resources and influence on the line to ensure our country remains a beacon of freedom." For those who attended, Musk was more than just a billionaire. He was a patriot ready to fight for America's values. His stance on free speech, constitutional rights, and technological advancement aligns closely with the principles that have always driven the MAGA movement. By joining forces with Trump, Musk is affirming his commitment to an America that leads the world in innovation, freedom, and prosperity. Musk's appearance at the rally was not a publicity stunt. It was part of a calculated strategy to mobilize conservative voters for the upcoming election. Musk has taken an active role in promoting voter registration through X, reaching his massive following with posts encouraging participation in the electoral process. With over 200 million followers, Musk's influence on social media is substantial, and his posts have become rallying cries for those who feel that conservative voices have been marginalized. In the days leading up to the rally, Musk used X to share information about voter registration deadlines and the importance of participating in swing states. His influence extends beyond the digital realm. It's having a tangible impact on voter engagement. At the rally, attendees spoke of how Musk's ownership of X has changed the landscape of social media for conservatives. "Social media has long been dominated by voices that don't reflect our values," said Rob Gray, a rally-goer who credits Musk with bringing balance back to the online discourse. Elon Musk has restored a sense of fairness to X, allowing people like us to express our beliefs without fear of censorship. In addition to promoting voter registration, Musk has taken a hands-on approach to campaign finance. His PAC has been pouring millions into ad campaigns and grassroots mobilization efforts, providing critical support in key swing states. By offering financial incentives for voter referrals and organizing events to energize the base, Musk is leveraging his resources to help ensure a strong conservative turnout. His approach is a reflection of his entrepreneurial spirit, innovative, data-driven, and designed to deliver results. Musk's political evolution. Elon Musk's journey from tech entrepreneur to conservative icon is as intriguing as it is unexpected. Though he once supported Democratic candidates, Musk's views have shifted in recent years, aligning more closely with the values of the MAGA movement. His endorsement of Trump is not just a political statement. It's a declaration of allegiance to a set of principles that champions economic freedom, national sovereignty, and a return to American greatness. At the rally, Musk emphasized his belief in the importance of the Second Amendment, a cornerstone of the conservative platform. "The Second Amendment is the reason we have the First Amendment," he told the crowd, drawing applause and cheers. For Musk, supporting Trump is about more than politics. It's about preserving the fundamental freedoms that make America unique. His transformation from a Silicon Valley liberal to a conservative figurehead underscores the broad appeal of the MAGA movement's core principles, which attract Americans from all walks of life who are committed to protecting the country's foundational values. With his acquisition of X, Musk has become one of the most powerful figures in social media, a position that has significant implications for the digital landscape. Critics argue that Musk's open support for Trump and conservative policies could lead to bias in content moderation. However, many conservatives see Musk's approach as a much-needed counterbalance to what they perceive as liberal dominance in the tech industry. For conservatives, Musk's stewardship of X represents a chance to reclaim their voices on a platform that has, for too long, been accused of silencing dissenting opinions. By removing bans, lifting restrictions, and reducing content moderation, Musk has created a space where conservative ideas can flourish. "People should be able to have conversations about ideas without being silenced," Musk has said, a statement that resonates deeply with the MAGA base. Under Musk's leadership, X has become a symbol of free speech. a place where individuals can express their views without fear of censorship. This commitment to open dialogue is a major reason why Musk has become so popular among conservatives, who have long felt marginalized by big tech companies. In many ways, Musk's approach to X reflects his broader philosophy, that innovation, freedom, and progress go hand in hand. Musk as a conservative icon and catalyst for change. In many respects, Musk's rise as a conservative figure mirrors the journey of Ronald Reagan, who also transitioned from a more liberal stance to become a champion of conservative values. Like Reagan, Musk embodies the principles of individualism, resilience, and an unyielding belief in American greatness. His endorsement of Trump and the MAGA movement is not just an act of political support. It's a powerful statement about the direction he believes America should take. Musk's commitment to free speech, his belief in the importance of constitutional rights, and his dedication to technological advancement align closely with the ideals that have always driven the MAGA movement. He's not just advocating for change, he's leading it, showing that the future of conservatism is not limited to traditional political figures. By aligning himself with the MAGA movement, Musk is paving the way for a new kind of conservative leadership, one that embraces innovation, technology, and a vision for America's future that is both bold and unapologetically patriotic. Musk's vision for America's future. For Musk, the American dream is more than an ideal. It's a reality that he's worked tirelessly to achieve. As an immigrant who built his empire from the ground up, Musk embodies the spirit of perseverance and self-reliance that resonates deeply with the MAGA base. His belief in the power of individual action and his commitment to American values have made him a natural ally for conservatives who believe in the importance of hard work and innovation. In his speech at the rally, Musk outlined his vision for America's future, one that includes a renewed focus on space exploration, energy independence, and technological innovation. By investing in American-made technology and promoting a future that is less dependent on foreign resources, Musk is championing causes that resonate with Republicans who believe in a strong, self-sufficient America. His commitment to exploration and innovation harkens back to a time when America led the world in scientific achievement, inspiring a new generation to dream big and work hard. The power of alliance, Musk and Trump's shared mission. The partnership between Musk and Trump is more than just a political alliance. It represents a shared mission to restore American greatness. Together, they bring a unique blend of political acumen, business expertise, and an unshakable belief in America's potential. Their collaboration signals a new era in American politics, where business leaders and politicians work together to advance a vision for the country that is both ambitious and grounded in conservative values. Musk's influence could also help the Republican Party attract new demographics, including younger voters who admire his entrepreneurial success and commitment to innovation. By supporting Trump, Musk is bridging the gap between traditional conservatism and a forward-looking vision that embraces technological advancement as a means to secure America's future. Musk's commitment to mobilizing for 2024 and beyond. As the 2024 election approaches, Musk's involvement in the MAGA movement could be a game-changer. His ability to mobilize millions of followers and his commitment to advancing conservative values make him a formidable force in American politics. With Musk on their side, Republicans are not only gaining a powerful ally, but also a symbol of resilience and ingenuity. His presence at the rally was a reminder that America's greatness is built on the contributions of individuals who dare to dream big and take bold actions. Musk's commitment to supporting Republican candidates through his PAC further underscores his dedication to the movement. His investment in ads, voter outreach, and grassroots mobilization is a testament to his belief in the importance of civic engagement and the power of individual action. By actively participating in the political process, Musk is setting an example for other business leaders, showing that they too have a role to play in shaping America's future. Elon Musk's embrace of the MAGA movement marks a new chapter in American politics, one where the worlds of technology, business, and conservative values intersect. His partnership with Trump is more than just a political endorsement. It is a powerful statement about the future of the Republican Party and the country as a whole. By aligning himself with the MAGA movement, Musk is not only lending his influence to a cause he believes in, but also embodying the ideals of freedom, innovation, and American exceptionalism. As the country moves toward the 2024 election, Musk's role as a political influencer will likely grow, inspiring others to get involved and make their voices heard. His advocacy for free speech, economic freedom, and constitutional rights resonates deeply with those who believe in America's promise as a land of opportunity. Together, Musk and Trump represent a powerful vision for a future where America leads the world in innovation, prosperity, and freedom. In Musk, conservatives have found a champion who not only shares their values, but also possesses the resources and influence to make a difference. His presence in the political arena is a reminder that America's strength lies in its people, in their ability to dream, to innovate, and to overcome challenges. With Musk on their side, the MAGA movement is poised to enter a new era, one that celebrates the enduring spirit of American greatness and looks boldly toward the future. Elon Musk is known for his unrelenting drive, his visionary ambitions, and his seemingly superhuman ability to bring revolutionary ideas to life. The founder of Tesla and SpaceX, among other ventures, has inspired millions with his relentless pursuit of progress, taking humanity to new heights in space exploration, electric vehicles, and renewable energy. Yet, during a recent live television interview, Musk did something that left the world stunned. He broke down in tears, revealing the immense emotional toll his journey has taken on him. It was a deeply humanizing moment, one that provided a rare glimpse into the struggles and sacrifices that accompany extraordinary achievements. The interview began just like many others, with Musk discussing his latest projects. He spoke passionately about the ambitious goals of SpaceX and Tesla, his dreams of a multi-planetary future, the advances in electric vehicle technology, and his mission to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. His eyes lit up as he described a future where humanity is no longer confined to Earth, where clean energy powers everything, and where technology helps solve the world's biggest problems. For the first part of the interview, Musk was his usual self, confident, focused, and ambitious. But as the interviewer delved into more personal questions, the tone of the conversation began to shift. When asked about the sacrifices he has made in pursuit of his dreams, Musk hesitated for a moment. This wasn't a topic he often addressed in public. Musk has always projected an image of strength, resilience, and unshakable determination, rarely letting the world see any cracks in his armor. But this time, he decided to pull back the curtain and let the audience see the person behind the success, the man who has faced countless sleepless nights, stress, and fears. Musk began by talking about the early days of Tesla and SpaceX, describing just how close both companies came to collapse. He spoke about the challenges of keeping both ventures afloat, the times when it seemed like nothing was going right, and the moments when he thought it was all going to fall apart. There were days when I thought we were done for, he said, his voice cracking slightly. He explained how he had poured his own money into Tesla when no one else would invest, and how at one point he was completely out of funds. I had to make the impossible decision to put everything I had left into either Tesla or SpaceX. I was completely broke. I knew I could lose everything, but I believed in what we were doing, and I couldn't let go. As Musk spoke, his eyes filled with tears, and he paused, taking a moment to collect himself. It was clear that these memories were still raw for him, and the audience watched in stunned silence. Musk took a deep breath and continued, his voice wavering as he spoke about the immense pressure he felt during those times. People see the success, but they don't see the sleepless nights, the anxiety, the stress. They don't see the moments when I thought I was going to lose it all. I had employees depending on me, people who believed in me, and I couldn't let them down. I felt like I was carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. Musk then went on to talk about the personal cost of his relentless pursuit of progress. He admitted that his work had often kept him away from his family, that he had missed countless important moments, and that it had taken a toll on his relationships. I've missed birthdays, anniversaries, and just being there for my kids when they needed me. Those are things you can't replace, and sometimes I wonder if it was worth it. I want to be there for the people I care about, but I also feel this overwhelming responsibility to keep going. I feel like there's so much at stake, and I can't just walk away. The raw honesty in Musk's words resonated with the audience. This was not the Elon Musk they were used to seeing. The bold, fearless leader who never seemed to flinch in the face of adversity. Instead, they saw a man who, despite his incredible accomplishments, struggled with the same doubts and insecurities as anyone else. Musk spoke about how the pressure to keep innovating, to keep pushing the boundaries, could sometimes feel overwhelming. People think I'm strong, that I can handle anything. But I'm just a human being. I have doubts, I have fears, and there are days when I feel like it's all too much. He went on to share a story about a particularly difficult time when both Tesla and SpaceX were teetering on the brink of failure. He recounted how he had to make the agonizing decision of splitting his remaining funds between the two companies, knowing that if things went wrong, both could fail. It was the hardest decision of my life. I knew that if I spread the money too thin, both companies could go under. But if I didn't try, I'd always wonder if we could have made it. So I took the risk. I was prepared to lose everything, but I couldn't give up. I believed in what we were doing, and I knew that if we could just hold on a little longer, we could make it. The room was filled with silence as Musk shared these memories. The audience could feel the weight of his words, and many were visibly moved by his openness. Musk's vulnerability in that moment was a stark reminder that even the most successful people have moments of weakness and face challenges that are not always visible. Behind the headlines and the acclaim is a person who has faced incredible struggles and made enormous sacrifices in pursuit of his dreams. The interviewer asked Musk if he ever considered stepping back or taking a break from it all. Musk smiled faintly, acknowledging that the thought had crossed his mind, but he didn't feel like he had that luxury. There's so much work to be done. Sometimes I do think about what it would be like to have a quieter life, to spend more time with my kids, to just relax. But then I think about the problems we're trying to solve, and I can't walk away from that. I feel this responsibility to keep going, to keep pushing forward. There's a fire inside me that won't let me stop. Musk then spoke directly to the audience, offering words of advice for anyone chasing their dreams. If you have a dream, if there's something you believe in, you have to be willing to give it everything you've got. But you also have to take care of yourself. It's easy to lose yourself in the pursuit of success, to forget about the things that really matter. Don't make the same mistakes I did. Don't let your dreams consume you to the point where you lose sight of what's important. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to ask for help. That doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. The audience gave Musk a standing ovation, and it was clear that the moment had resonated deeply with them. The man who had become a symbol of strength had shown that even the strongest among us are human, capable of feeling pain, doubt, and vulnerability. It was a powerful moment, one that reminded everyone in the room that even those who achieve greatness face struggles and make sacrifices. In the days that followed, clips of Musk's emotional interview spread across social media, sparking conversations around the world. People were moved by his honesty and inspired by his willingness to be vulnerable. Fans and admirers flooded social media with messages of support, sharing their own stories of struggle, sacrifice, and resilience. The response was overwhelmingly positive, with people from all walks of life reaching out to express their admiration and gratitude for Musk's openness. Many saw Musk's tears as a reminder that even the most successful people are not immune to the pressures of life, and that true strength lies in acknowledging those struggles and continuing to move forward. The interview also sparked important conversations about mental health, particularly for those in high-pressure roles. Psychologists and mental health advocates weighed in, noting that Musk's openness could help to destigmatize discussions around stress, burnout, and the emotional toll of high-stakes work. Musk himself addressed the response to the interview in the following days. He expressed gratitude for the support and admitted that opening up in such a public way had been difficult, but ultimately meaningful. It's not easy to talk about these things, but I think it's important. People need to know that even those who seem strong have moments of weakness, and that's okay. It's part of being human. Musk also reflected on the lessons he had learned from his journey, emphasizing the importance of finding balance and prioritizing self-care. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle, to feel like you have to keep pushing no matter what. But taking care of yourself is not a luxury. It's a necessity. If you don't take the time to recharge, you'll burn out, and you won't be able to keep going. Finding that balance is crucial, and it's something I'm still working on. He also encouraged others to be open about their struggles and to seek help when needed. There's this idea that you have to be tough all the time, that showing vulnerability is a sign of weakness. But I think the opposite is true. Being honest about what you're going through, reaching out for support, admitting that you don't have all the answers, that takes real courage. And it's something we need to normalize. Musk's words resonated with countless individuals who had faced similar pressures in their own lives. Many shared that his openness had given them the courage to be more honest about their own struggles, both with themselves and with others. Musk's moment of vulnerability served as a reminder that, despite external markers of success, everyone faces their own battles, and no one is immune to the challenges of life. The interview also brought attention to the need for open conversations about mental health, particularly for those in demanding careers. Musk's story underscored the importance of acknowledging stress and burnout, and finding ways to support oneself and others through difficult times. It highlighted the fact that success, while often celebrated, can come with unseen costs, and that those costs need to be addressed to ensure that people are not just surviving, but thriving. Musk also shared that he was taking steps to prioritize his own well-being moving forward. He mentioned that he was planning to spend more time with his family and was exploring ways to incorporate mindfulness and self-care into his daily routine. I'm still learning, but I want to find a way to keep doing what I love while also taking care of myself. It's a work in progress, but I'm committed to making it a priority. For many, Musk's journey has become a source of inspiration, not just because of his accomplishments, but because of his willingness to be open about the personal costs of those accomplishments. His story serves as a reminder that success is not a straight line, and that even the most successful individuals face setbacks, doubts, and sacrifices along the way. Musk's openness also highlighted the importance of self-compassion and the need to extend that compassion to others. Ultimately, Elon Musk's tearful interview became more than just a viral moment. It became a symbol of hope, resilience, and the human spirit. Through his openness, Musk reminded the world that it's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to struggle, and it's okay to be human. And in doing so, he left an indelible mark on the hearts and minds of those who saw a bit of themselves in his tears, and who found comfort in knowing that they were not alone.